It's DUG24. 24 hours, 24 sessions, 24 speakers, 100% Microsoft Dynamics. It's unparalleled, unprecedented, and undeniable fun with your hosts Beau and Bobby Small. Let's get into it with another episode of DUG24.
But we've killed it. We're at 10:02 or 10:01 now, so we want to welcome on Heidi Neuhauser, who's going to jump in with us and bring us into our next topic. We don't want to spend too much time, stepping around that. So Heidi, welcome to come off camera and join us and get yourself ready if you're ready. Otherwise, you can let Beau and I know camera. We can talk about.
Ready to go.
Awesome. Otherwise, we'll talk about
We're ready for
ice nuggets. Yeah, we just that's our default topic if we don't have anything to talk about.
So important question, Shannon. I'm sorry I missed your session, but I was attending earlier ones. Did Shannon get the Tay memo or?
No, she didn't mention.
She broke the streak. Yeah, she broke the streak. Which is fine.
I definitely edited my presentation.
I love it.
Let's go.
We'll get to that in a second.
How is Taylor showing up?
Can you all see my crowd hum here? Awesome.
Yep, got it.
So if you could scan that QR code and just let me know where you are in CE agents, because we're going to talk about Dynamics 365 customer engagement agents in those first party apps. We're going to look at sales and customer service and marketing. And before I dive in, if anyone would like to vote, it would just be kind of cool to see where everybody is. Are you learning more about it? Do you have it turned on in a trial like I do, like we'll look at? Are you live? Are you piloting one or more agents? Have you actually scaled it in your org? Or are you just kind of in the waiting camp?
I love this fireworks show while we're waiting too. That's pretty awesome. Like I didn't count on this kind of emotionality like in the
very exciting.
In
This Phil Topness made this. He posted about it on LinkedIn for this event, and I thought, why not? This looks awesome. Cooler than what I'm doing. Somebody is using agents in their live system. That's exciting. This is awesome. I'm just gonna let these fireworks keep popping up.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of transition around because I think this is really cool to see where everybody is. All right, this is good. We've got like at least one person in every camp. All right, let me take you to my slide deck. So like I said, CE agents and Dynamics 365. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm Heidi Neuhauser. I am Vice President of Reenhanced. We are both an implementation partner, and we've also created 6 certified Power Automate connectors that we sell as well. Really cool stuff. Today's focus is my challenge to myself. This is brand spanking new content. I'm really excited to share it with you. Is how can I present CE agents in a fun way? And I hope you're ready to have a little bit of fun because I really went outside the box with this one. I've been working in the CRM and CE community since 2010, so I've been around the Dynamics CE tech for a little while, and I'm currently a Microsoft MVP in customer engagement and Power Automate. So here's my Tay call out. Dynamics is entering its agent era. Are you ready for it? How's that? A little bit of Tay fun. All right, here's what we're going to cover. Requirements before getting started. This is not the fun part of the conversation, but it's the essential part of the conversation that we all need to have. Then we're going to spend a lot of time meeting the agents. And I tried to have a little creative freedom here in how I'm going to introduce you to the agents. Most of the first-party agents live in sales and service, and the autonomous ones certainly do. But there are 2 agents working in the marketing area in customer insights journeys, and I just want to make sure we know about those as well, even though they're a little bit different than the others. Then I want to do a short demo. I have the sales qualification agent set up and sales research agent, so we'll kind of see what we feel like checking out, maybe look at both. I'm going to share a couple of resources, and then, like everyone's doing, 3 key takeaways for you. All right, very important question, right? What is required to use AI agents inside of Dynamics 365? So here's my warning slide. Buying the license for this and setting up Copilot Studio and making sure you are getting billed the right way is not the same as being ready. Unfortunately, it's not as simple as, hey, let's try this cool new agent thing and see how it all works. So you could have everything enabled and turned on, but if you don't have the right data, permission level, capacity, clear ownership chain, and a good deployment plan, it's probably going to potentially fail. So that's where your readiness comes. Let's talk a little bit about your potential failure points, and then we're going to go on to a slide that has a lot of words. I'm sorry, but I think it's helpful. So if you turned on your agent today, what could stop it from succeeding? Well, there could be technology concerns that stop it from implementing and being adopted the way you want. People. So I know some other presentations are talking about the importance of people in the role of embracing AI. Classic change management stuff right here, friends. You got to let your employees know about the change, what's changing, and how it's going to benefit them to get them on board. And then data. This might be the most common failure point in agents. So let's look at all of these words. We're going to talk about it briefly, but I tried to put everything together because Microsoft Learn has excellent documentation. And all of this is summed up in many different areas, but we're trying to put it under a nice, easy to understand umbrella here. And we're calling this our pillars of AI agent readiness. First things first, and hopefully this is the easy one for you. You need to have an eligible environment. The agents we are talking about are first-party agents. So you have to have a Dynamics 365 sales license and the right tier of licensing, or you need Dynamics 365 customer service. Some might need contact center licensing, and some need customer insights licensing. So you're going to need to make sure that you have the eligible environment deployed in a supported region, which, you know, that stuff changes all the time. Just check Microsoft Learn for the latest, greatest info. And then you can check off pillar number 1. You have an eligible environment. You're rocking and rolling. Everything's good. Number 2 here is capacity and licensing, the fun thing that everybody wants to talk about. Right? You're going to need Copilot credits or pay-as-you-go enabled. I am not a licensing expert, and I will not be talking about licensing in this. If you have questions, you can put them in chat, and I can do my best to help you or at least direct you in the right path. Pillar number 3 is platform settings. So this is going to vary with the specific agent that you're looking to deploy. And I should also note, it's at the bottom of the slide here, but some agents are going to require additional setup. There's a lot of things that need to be configured properly, a lot of AI readiness items that need to be opted in before you can fully utilize everything here. So we've got required AI details in the Power Platform Admin Center. We've got some search settings that you may or may not need to update, some data processing, and different regional settings that may need to be enabled. Some other things, again, depending on which agent you're going live with, you might need knowledge enabled and to have all of your knowledge sources connected. You might need your routing all set up. You might need external AI model approval. You might need shared mailboxes, Copilot Studio connections. I mean, the list goes on, but just know that there are things you will need to set up at the environment level before you can go live with these. Number 4, roles and permissions. A lot of these agents require an application user with specific licensing requirements. Again, Microsoft Learn has excellent documentation. I'll have QR codes at the end to help you kind of find what you're looking for, but you're going to need to make sure the correct access is assigned to your admins, to the users, and like I said, to the application user who might be running the agent. And finally, I'm going to say this is the biggest pillar, your connected data. Your agent will only be as good as the data it has access to. This is extremely important and largely overlooked. Honestly, this is something that gets overlooked in many things, not just AI readiness, right? Data quality is a problem, but we'll figure that out later. Well, now is later. You should really pay. It pays to put the time and the effort forth to make sure that you have good, clean data, that you have it all connected in the way you want, because once all of that data is formatted properly and presented to your agents, it's able to use it, and you'll be able to streamline everything that these agents do. All right, that was fun, right? You know what's more fun? This meeting the agents, that thing that I'm going to move on. You guys got to bear with me. I started out with just an Excel sheet, right? I just made like, okay, here's the agent name, here's where it lives, here's where it does, here's the prerequisites, here's where it needs. And frankly, that's a boring way to give you the information. I really hope you guys like this. I would love some feedback. We are going to do this TV style, reality TV style. Episode 1, we are going to meet all of the players in Dynamics 365 sales. So, no further ado, meet the sales safari. Yeah, we've personified every agent into an animal, but I hope it's just a nice way for you to get to understand this a little bit easier. We're going to do a little intro for each of these agents, and I promise it's real good information, and the animals are fun. So let's see, we start with Sniff here on the left. He's your sales qualification agent. We're going to talk a lot about him in a bit. We've got Scout, who is your sales opportunity agent. We've got your closer. They're the one that is going to help you streamline all of your opportunity closing activities and the actual closing if you trust it that much. We've got Hoot, the sales research agent. We have Coach, recommended actions agent. He's one of the newer agents on the block. We've got Copy. Copy is really cool. See all of her cool little tentacles? That's because Copy is the sales agent in Microsoft 365 Copilot. And then we've got Maggie. Maggie is going to enrich all of your data using AI. Thanks, guys, for liking my animals. Okay, here's the main players. There are 7 in sales, but I'm going to say these are the 3 main players when you're talking about agents that can help you do things inside of Dynamics. Sniff again, sales qualification agent. He is best at qualifying the right leads. So you should choose this agent when you have a group of sellers who are spending too much time on leads that aren't converting. Then we have Scout in the middle. Scout's our sales opportunity agent. This one is really good at spotting deal risk early. You would choose the sales opportunity agent if you are looking for a solution where maybe leadership is discovering problems after your opportunities have already stalled, which is not ideal, right? Wouldn't it be great if Scout can do all the hard work for you and kind of notify you about these prospects that might need a little attention? Then we have the closer. The closer is best at doing your follow-ups and addressing objections. You can, if you really trust this agent, if you really love this agent, you can automate actually closing as won or lost. I would caution you not to do that right away because we like AI, we trust it, but we need to verify that it's actually working before we give it that much power. Plus, your sales reps might not like that. All right, you're going to choose the sales close agent when your sellers need help following up, working with those objections that people are bringing to their attention, and actually closing them out. Next are our support squad. So these players are going to work on gathering insights, taking action, and enriching all of your data. So like I have here, these 4 are going to keep your pipeline moving by answering questions, calling the next play, connecting tools, and polishing customer contacts. So we've got Hoot. Hoot is the sales research agent. Hoot is pretty cool. I am going to show you this one later because I think it's awesome. This is a great way to just answer questions that your sales reps have. You're going to choose her if your sellers are spending a lot of time trying to find the right information before taking an action. We're going to go to the right and look at Coach next. Coach is the recommended actions agent. He's still in preview because, like I said, he's pretty new. So Coach is going to help you prioritize your next steps. So this is great if you have sellers that don't know what to do next. Maybe they have a large quantity of leads that they're working on, and you can use AI insights from your Dataverse and let them know, well, usually if you have a deal that is closing in the next 2 weeks and it's worth this much and it has this product, this is the follow-up we'd send. So Coach, the recommended actions agent, kind of automate all that for you. Now we're going to check out Copy. All those tentacles because she's reaching out to all those Microsoft 365 apps because they all have data in them about your clients, about your customers, about your prospects. She's going to gather all of that in one place and surface it to you inside of Dynamics 365. So this is great. Again, if your sales activities are spread out through a lot of different areas of Microsoft 365. And then we've got Maggie. Maggie is really easy to set up. I set up a couple of these for my trial environment, and this is the easiest one. You just kind of like turn it on and put a couple pointers in there. But Maggie, the AI-powered data enrichment, will go out and complete your CRM records. Now, you'll put guardrails up on Maggie because you don't want her just willy-nilly grabbing things off of Wikipedia, right? So you're going to give her some guardrails, let her loose on that messy data, and she's just going to set you straight. Copy, because she handles copious amounts of data. Thank you for liking this. Yes. Okay, so that was fun. Now we're going to just take a moment, go back to like serious talk. So this is where people come first. All right, we want to choose the right agent. We are not going to start. I see there's some chatter in Teams like, yay, Coach is my favorite. Maggie's awesome. So yes, that is a fun way to think about it. But when you think about how you're going to apply these agents to your actual dataverse, we're not going to say this agent sounds cool, so we're going to turn it on. We want to start by identifying a specific problem that the agent can solve for. So identify the problem. What business problem are we solving? Then we can select the agent whose data autonomy and operating model kind of fit that problem. So characters help us remember what each agent does, but these questions are essential in helping us decide whether we should use them and how to use them. So here's another slide with too much information, but this is probably a good takeaway one if you want to think about it more in a business way and less little cute little animal game show way. But your business need is on the left, and then I put it with the best fit agent, and then an overview of what it needs. This is not a comprehensive list of what it needs. This slide would be ginormous if I listed everything that it needed. But this could be a really high level spot for you to start understanding how you can kind of identify that. And I will definitely share these slides if you want these afterwards for anything. So that was fun, right? Let's do episode 2. Episode 2 is going to be focused on customer service, and we're doing like a home makeover thing because that seemed fun. This is your customer care rescue team for service desk makeover. So just like before, we're going to meet all of the players, meet the agents who are going to be helping you to automate things and do things in your environment. This is Dynamics 365 customer service. A lot of these are the contact center portion of Dynamics 365 customer service. So if you have questions as we go along, put them in chat. I'm trying to pay attention on my monitor over there. We've got Casey. Casey is the case management agent. Ellie's my favorite. She is the customer knowledge management agent. Then we have Quinn, who's our quality evaluation agent. We have Indy, who is your customer intent agent. We have Vox, who is your customer intent agent for voice. That is a completely separate agent. We've got Rocco. The do-up guys probably like Rocco. It seems like I stole him right from your marketing. This is the intent-driven routing. Rocco is in preview right now. And then we've got Rolo, your rollout manager. So, no further ado, let's meet our frontline experts. These are the 3 agents that I think are closest to your customer journey. They're going to manage your case, understand the customer need, and then route the work to the right place. All essential things that you do in customer service, all sometimes very manual to do, right? Some of the routing, some of the old school CRM routing is really manual to configure, and there are some pretty cool agents to help you streamline that process. All right, so Casey is going to keep all of your service needs moving. He is your case management agent. He is best at making sure that every case is touched, every case is updated, everyone is kind of managing their cases. So this is a good agent for you to use if you need help with case creation, updates, and follow-ups that are just taking too much work on your current CSR team. Nothing kind of falls under the cracks. Then we have a customer intent agent. So this is a pretty cool agent too. This one's gonna figure out what your customer needs. So she's like the listener. You would choose this if your organization doesn't clearly understand why customers are contacting support. So this is kind of like a lighter lift for what the case management agent does, but it will identify the intent of the customer. And then you could do cool things as a CSR or as a customer service manager where you could like sort your cases or sort your conversations based on the intent. You could route them differently. Is the customer intent X and is Sam, my expert on that, then I'm going to route it to Sam. Speaking of routing, then we've got Rocco, who's going to do the intent-driven routing. So this is the agent that is going to match your customers to the best route automatically using AI. This one does require a lot of setup. I'm not going to lie. This needs a lot of the building blocks underneath, making sure that every user inside of CRM has defined skills, making sure that every user is defined with the intent. So you've got to do a lot of work in the beginning of this one, but it is really cool when it's all configured and just moves automatically. So you would choose this one if you have a problem where clients and customers are just routed to the wrong rep and then they lose time, because we don't want to waste time. All right, and here's your support specialists. These are the 4 agents that are going to make your operations smarter, more consistent, and easier to scale. So Ellie is the customer knowledge management agent. She is really good at taking resolved cases and turning it into a knowledge article draft. Who likes creating knowledge articles? Absolutely nobody on this call. It's terrible. And it's so hard to try to tell a customer service rep, oh, after you resolve that case, can you document what you did, create a knowledge article, tag it with all of these things, and then go through the editorial process? No, they're not going to do that. They want to move on to their next case. They have specific KPIs, and probably creating a knowledge article is not important. Can you tell this is my favorite because I'm still talking about it? So this is awesome because you can configure an agent to do something that nobody actually enjoys doing. So you would choose this if your resolved cases are not being turned into reusable knowledge. She's awesome. Is she anyone else's favorite in customer service or just mine? This one I have implemented. This one is a game changer. It makes everybody's life easier. All right, let's take a look at Quinn. Quinn is the quality evaluation agent. He's going to raise the quality bar, and you would choose this specific agent if there are inconsistent quality reviews or no quality reviews. So you can automate all of that using this agent. Then we'll go down to Vox. So Vox is the customer intent agent for voice. Does the same thing that we looked at earlier, but this one is just on the voice channel. So this is really neat if you are having a hard time understanding what the customer intent is during a voice conversation. So this will just kind of proactively tell you what the perceived intent is. And then finally, you've got a rollout manager agent. So this is like your PM AI. I don't know how I feel about this because like I'm part Rollo in my job, but this is going to help you in like ALM processing and stuff. It's going to make sure that you introduce your agents in the right way and with greater control. So let's take a look at kind of the decision matrix. So this again, we're going to consider what does our customer need first, what agent does it fit, and at a high and not complete level, what does this agent need in order to work? So lots of information here. I don't see any questions. Hopefully you liked this one better. Seems like you liked the sales area better. The sales one was more fun to put together, maybe because it was the first. All right, Casey the capybara. All right, now we're gonna move on to episode 3. This is a really short one, and we don't have a fun theme because there's only 2 agents right now in Customer Insights Journeys. So Customer Insights Journeys is the marketing app of Dynamics 365, and we've got 2. Now, these 2 are different. It's mentioned at the beginning before we were going to meet all of the agents. They are different because they're less autonomous. So there's different levels of autonomy, but they're really cool agents, and I at least wanted to give them their moment to shine. The Juno here is the journey creation agent. Both of these are in preview, I will mention. This is not autonomous at all. This is completely user-directed. It proposes a journey. It's user-initiated. It's a very conversational interface. So you as a marketer would use natural language to say, I want this to happen. And if they click on this thing, make the next thing happen, then wait 3 days and send another email. So it'll propose a journey, but then you as the marketer will be the one who finally decides everything and says yes, approves it, publishes it. So nothing goes live until user publishes and approves that. Then we have Tempo, our outreach optimizer. So this is the outreach optimization agent. This one is pretty new. So this is autonomous, but within defined guardrails, if that makes sense. So after a marketer will add and configure it inside of a journey, it can independently analyze the engagement data inside of that journey. It can select and suggest different send times. It can schedule your emails for you, and then it can evaluate goals and kind of help you change them if needed. So it won't independently create or launch any campaigns, but it will let you know if there are some changes that it would recommend. So here's these two. Instead of the normal third column, we just have level of autonomy on here. So journey creation agent, you would just choose if you want help building a journey. Outreach optimization agent would just be, well, I have an existing journey, but I need to get more information about my send times or communication frequency or something like that. All right. Okay, now we're going to demo. I hope this goes well. If it doesn't, I have a pre-recorded demo, but we are going to try. Let's come back here. And I think we are okay on time to show you both. Welcome to Dynamics 365 Sales. I'm going to demo this in a very vanilla trial environment. So this has not really been configured. All I did was kind of turn on the agents. So again, Sales Hub. So the first thing I want to show you is the sales research agent. I took the liberty of doing some of these so you don't have to watch me type. But this is how it works. This is available to anyone who is a sales rep inside of Dynamics, again, with the right licensing. And after you've configured Sales Research Agent, it has some prompts here that you can click on. It has some suggested topics. And like everything, you can use natural language to ask a question. These are some things that I did. So top deals and key contributors. Let's just click on that and I'll show you what that looks like. So this is just saying, take a look at my pipeline and let me know how my pipeline is performing and what KPIs I need to pay attention to. So it gives me a really nice like Power BI like graphic right in here. It gives me text overview with some nice bold things to call my attention out. Then we've got some nice bubble charts. This looks like the pipeline chart. Sorry, the deal manager. I forget what it's called now. Pipeline report. We've got some cool things here. You can expand all of these. You can drill down. It's a pretty nice interface. And you can save this. If I really like this, I can pin this workspace like you can today with records and stuff. And then when I come back to the sales research agent, I can kind of bring that up again and just see the refresh different cool stuff inside of here. So we can click on one of these and see if the demo is really happy, and we'll just load a live prompt we haven't done yet. Boom. Research opportunities for growth. So it's going to go through, and this obviously is going to respect your security model. So this will only return any opportunities that I have permission to view. So security model is really important to make sure you don't accidentally expose the wrong information to the wrong people. So it's going to go out, find the data, make that query, give you a plan, and then give you some insights, hopefully quickly. Many, many sacrifices to appease. I'll let it keep running because I have a backup. All right. Now we're in the same app. All I have is a different tab of the same thing, Sales Hub. And this is where we will play with agents. We're going to change our area and go to app settings. And then you have all the settings inside of Dynamics Sales. I will caution you, customer service is a completely different beast. And I'm not going to demo that today, but feel free to connect with me later and I'll show you that because that one is over in Copilot Studio. All right, so over here in general settings, we've got this section here, the Dynamics 365 AI Hub. If you click on this, you can see that this is where a lot of the information is going to be. Not all 7 of those agents. If I scroll down, we have a sales qualification agent, opportunity, close, and data. And because I am zoomed in this way, it's not showing me all the buttons. But you can come in here and actually configure the agents directly from here. So it's really easy and really cool. All right, 2 big areas here, Agent Manager and AI Optimization Hub. Agent Manager is where you create your agent and you manage your draft agents and your active agents. AI Optimization Hub is where you can monitor agents and see what's happening. I just made this demo, so there's a whopping 1 lead that's been done. But you can see the agent is working, the AI agent rate is here, the handoff rate, it kind of gives you all the details. And I'm going to show you what that looks like a little bit. But I want to come in here and show you kind of the create and manage part. So you can see I turned on the sales qualification agent research, and I also have the data enrichment one. So let's open this up. Everything in here is going through a really like wizard-like area. So it's really easy, but complicated, if that makes sense, to set all these up. Wendy, I see your question. Yes, these agents are all included in Dynamics 365 customer engagements, asterisk if you have the proper licensing to see them. But these are not separate. These are all the agents that live inside of Dynamics. You'll have to watch the recording. We had fun with animals. I had fun with animals. All right, so the very first thing you do for sales qualification agent is say, which mode do I want? This is really important, which is why we're going to talk about it. You can either put this agent in research mode where it's going to do all of the information, gather all of the information. It'll draft emails, it'll suggest things and proactively send you insights, but it will not talk to your clients. I would recommend starting with this because you can always change it to engage. So engage is cool when you've tested this out, piloted it, trust it, it's doing good stuff. So if you choose engage, this will send personalized emails out. This will follow up with your customers. This will answer questions from your customers. And then it's going to hand it off. When does it hand it off? You get to control that. So you do have a lot of guardrails that you can put on this one as well. So this is great information. What leads are you targeting? Where is it stored? What's all this great stuff? And then here's your assignment rules. So I want to send it to a specific seller. I want to send it to a team. Who's the supervisor? And this all comes back to play when you head over to the sales area. Now we're going to leads. I know I'm going kind of quick through this. There are new views that get added. My leads processed by qualification agent. So here's the one, and it's letting me know all this lead research that came. Here's all of the information. Here's my suggested next action. I kept this one really simple. They made it a cold lead. Why did it make it a cold lead? Well, because of all of these different things. Let me come back over here and see if our prompt ended. All right, switching gears, sales qualification agent or sales research agent. Here is that prompt that we just picked, letting me know what's my average time to close. How many opportunities do I have? I'm kind of seeing all of that. So hope that was exciting, helpful, fun. We can talk more about this offline. I do want to make sure I have resources for you. So these are 3 very important QR codes. We've got our AI agents in Dynamics Sales, the Customer Service Contact Center, and agent and customer insights journeys agents. So those are the 2 marketing ones that we looked at. Does anyone have questions? I want to make sure I'm answering anything you guys want to see, because I have some ideas where to go next, but I kind of want to see what you guys want to do. Do you want to see a little more about agents inside of CE? Pause to drink water and check. I'm from the Philly area, so I say water. Apologies if y'all find that funny.
My kids are not from Philly, and they also say it like that. So,
do they?
Yeah, I think it might be something they're getting from Disney Channel or something.
I think that's great.
Heidi, I love the episodes call out, and typically, like, I don't know if this you have got a lot of hidden jokes, I've noticed. Like, as I was looking through the characters, I was like, man, when is Zootopia 3 going to come out? And I'm definitely ready for it. The other thing I noticed, like, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but what is the first episode typically on a TV series? The co-pilot?
The pilot, the co-pilot?
Yeah. Oops, I didn't go there.
Heidi, looking for the links in the chat. If you can throw those in if you had those links to throw in the chat.
I saw that. I will do that after. So I don't screw up my screen sharing. That
Yeah, good enough. And we can get
Yeah,
the PowerPoint
yeah.
out. We'll get the slide deck out. If you throw it into a PDF for us, we'll make sure we get all the slide decks we collect out to the folks who've registered.
Yeah, for sure. And I have a lot more QR codes. I don't want to overwhelm you yet. All right. Setup. Should the shared mailbox be one agent? Oh, that's a really good question. Okay, so the question is about shared mailbox. So like I said, let me come back. Let's come back here. Let's look at this agent. There are prerequisites for every agent when you come to set it up. So some of them a lot of them have set up a mailbox. Anything that is going to draft emails or send emails needs to have a mailbox. So this one, we need Bing search. That's usually a really easy one to do because I think most people have it by default here. This one, I had to create an app in Azure. It gives you a lot of prompts of what to do. So if I hadn't done that, I can click the setup and it's going to push me over to my Azure portal. And I should have had this preloaded so I don't have to go to the login. So in here, it's really, really simple. You would give it the external facing name. So if we look in here, I think I called it SQA demo. So that's what we created. Single tenant only, redirect URL, all that stuff. And then you're just going to register your app if you have proper permissions or chat with someone who does. And then we have create the app user in Dataverse. So this is the step where I created the user and then it created the mailbox. So let me come and show you what that looks like. This is the same as setting up any Dataverse user. This is going to be an application user. So this is the one that I set up. And then the important part of this is giving it the proper security role. There's a lot of security roles in Dataverse. If you aren't terribly familiar with them, it's very important that you pick the proper one. And this one, I believe, is AI salesperson is the security role that needs to be added here. There it is, AI salesperson. So if you give it any permission in the land and you're missing AI salesperson, it will let you know that this agent can't be published because it's missing that security role. Where do I get that? From Microsoft Learn documentation. So you go into your very specific agent that you are working to deploy, and then you'll learn which security role you need to give it. So by creating this, I have said that this application user is going to be the authorized user who is going to be running the agent and then have the mailbox that it sends out. All right, and that'll be a little bit different everywhere. Let me come back and see if we can make a new one. That'll be fun. Create an agent. Sales close agent. Here we go. This one has create a shared mailbox. Fabulous. So this, you would come in here and click set it up. This is going to open Exchange Admin Center. This is actually a really good question because you're seeing now how there's a lot required before you actually go live. So leadership comes to you and they're like, wow, I saw this great presentation about CE agents. I want you to turn on the sales research agent in our organization. Can you have that live tomorrow? Well, you're going to need a lot of permissions if you don't have it. You probably are going to need to work with other teams to ensure that your app is set up and registered in Azure, that your Exchange Admin Center has authorized you to send all of the information. You can create a delegated admin. You can apply security roles. And then you're going to do all the other things that might have. So again, depending on what agent, that could be really easy to set up, or it could be really complicated and have a lot of steps. And hopefully you remember fun little agents along the way that might look like animals. Let me show you the data enrichment because I just want to show you on the flip side how easy this one is. So the data enrichment, I forget her name, Maggie, our little raven, is going to just go out and grab some information that might be missing in your Dynamics records and kind of add it in for that. So this one was pretty simple. We just need to let the agent have access to Microsoft 365 and ensure that Dataverse search is turned on. I believe all production environments have Dataverse search turned on by default now, but if you're piloting this in Sandbox, which you should, you may or may not need to turn on Dataverse search in that environment in order to do this. Then you're simply creating a profile, which is just give my agent a name and a description if you want. Define user access. So who can use this access in my sales team? For this, I'm fine with anyone that has the premium license, but you can configure this to be just a specific group of sellers. So sellers with matching attributes or define specific sellers. Then we look at record selection. So which opportunities so this, you see, I left this wide open. I want this to be any open opportunity, but you would probably be more strategic. Like, I want any open opportunity that isn't closing in the next month, that is this specific segment or whatever you want. Then you're going to define your agent behavior. If there are fields you want your agent to skip, you don't ever want your AI agent to enter data in specific fields. I think it's great that you can select as many as you want here. Do you want to let this agent automatically update fields or wait for seller approval? By default, it's going to be more passive and wait for someone to review it and authorize it, which I think you should do as you're getting started with it. But I guess if you've piloted this, you've got some users who tested it out. You could let it start automatically update fields as you get more comfortable. And then your enrichment frequency. So I can't change this one because my agent is active, but you can say how often do I want the data to be enriched? And then what are my sources? So this one, I just have email and Outlook, but you could configure different data sources. So this one is pretty easy to turn on and just let loose and start doing things. All right, I'm gonna check over my questions, see if I have any others. Don't see any other questions. Any other questions now? Or I'm gonna move on to my top 3 things to remember, and then I'm gonna show you all of my appendix stuff, and I will get you all of the links, but get your phones ready to scan QR codes if you would like. So 3 big things that I hope you leave today with is readiness comes before results. I know we all want to just dive in and say, let's go all in on these AI agents. Let's let AI run everything. But you need to be ready for it. And think about those 5 pillars of readiness. We need all the licensing considerations. We need settings and permissions. I still think the most important thing you need is clean, connected data. Without all of those 5 pillars of readiness, your agent might not actually work, or it might not work the way that you hope it will or the way that you intend it to. Takeaway number 2, agents win as a cast, not a solo act. So they really shine when you start to use the right agent for the right job for the right users across sales, service, and marketing. I don't know if more agents are coming in marketing. The innovation really does seem to be more in sales and customer service, but I'd imagine there's 2 in marketing. There will probably be more. And then takeaway number 3, prove your value before you scale. So I would challenge you to just start with one focused use case, to pilot it, to see how it works, to see how your organization addresses it, to see how your users adapt to working with AI enhanced data. Like, there are some really cool ones you can get started with. If you're working in customer service, I think you should try the knowledge management agent. That's a great one because it takes a pain point of your users. If your people don't like creating knowledge articles, this is a great place for AI to live. If your salespeople hate scheduling their follow-ups, there's an AI agent that can help them automate that. So I know this is like a 4th thing to remember, but find where the pain is for your users and then kind of try to match that with the proper AI agent that you can implement, which then will make everything easier for them. So once you pick that one focus use case, you can measure the outcome, you can prove its worth, and then you can expand after your organization, after a small group of users buys in. You have that pilot group that likes it, and then they can evangelize and go forth and tell everyone how wonderful they are. Okay, I have a lot of these. I will get you all the links in the chat after my session here. So these are kind of like the big 3 in sales. So Here's how you configure the sales research agent that we looked at that is really fun to use as a sales rep. This would be another good one to pilot. It's easier to set up, and it's a nice interface where your sales reps can simply ask a question in natural language and get an answer, and a pretty dashboard. Your sales managers might like that too. The sales close agent and the sales qualification agent. On the customer service side, this is your case management agent and how to set it up. These, like I said in the beginning, these are more complex to set up, and most of them, not the customer knowledge management agent, most of them will require Copilot Studio to kind of figure all these out. And then the customer intent agent, and then these are the two marketing AI resources. So your outreach optimization agent and your journey creation agent. Ooh, a lot of agent talk. Thank you guys so much. I ended a couple minutes early, so if you guys have more questions or if there's anything you want to see inside of Dynamics, happy to show it to you. Just pop it into the chat.
Heidi, I've got a question for you. And really great job again. I don't know if I said it out loud, but I was at least thinking it out loud. I think the number one question I've got for you is, as we kind of walk through all these agents, that was a lot. That was a lot to consume. How do you recommend a customer kind of ingesting all of this and kind of keeping up? Or is it more of like a hey, just come talk to us and like we just have a conversation and we can kind of ideate? Or what's your thought process on that?
That is an excellent question. It's kind of why I picked this topic, because it's so confusing. There's so much information. There isn't one good repository of space. So if you need more information, I would strongly recommend talking to your partners. If you have a partner, paying attention to like some of the community folks, the MVPs in customer engagement. I see a lot of great content that comes out on LinkedIn and on YouTube, kind of talking about things. If you have questions about any of these, you can certainly reach out to me. I'm on LinkedIn and YouTube. But I wish I had a better answer for you, Beau. There is not a really good resource to cull it all together. My best guess was to make it fun and see if that helps.
I mean, if you're not having fun, what the heck are you doing, really?
Right?
This is
this is about to be a very dry presentation before I came up with this idea.
No, your presentation was fun, engaging, loved the characters, created a lot of side conversations around how that resonated with people, and there, or even as agents, like you resonate with that role in your life. Like, I am the person who does this. I am the person. So you got a really great connection value with some of those different agents and what they're doing and how they're helping enhance what you're doing.
For sure. I will say one other thing. If you like this and you want to try it, there is a website, trials.dynamics.com. If you haven't found this yet, this is how I play with them. When I learn about it, when I see something, this is the first place I go. I click this button, try for free. And this isn't just for CE, this is for the whole tech stack, right? Choose your trial. So to prepare for this, I just click try for free for all three of these. And then you get a fully functional demo environment. You don't have to worry about what license level you're at. Like, let's say you like these sales agents, but you're sales professional, so you can't see them. Well, come in here, try for free. It's going to give you the premium access, and you can see what it looks like. You can turn it on. You can see what permissions you need, and then that's a really good way to kind of see if it fits for you.
Wow, what an awesome nugget there.
That is great. I mean, that's great. I mean, for people that just wanted to, especially if you're just, getting started too.
Mm-hmm.
Heidi, looking forward to, I think a couple people asked for the links. Nick Hans with the excellent pun at the end there. Bravo. Yeah. Also bravo on the Tay reference. Appreciate it. We're apparently morphing this entire conference to reference that on every deck.
We need to start tagging her though somewhere on social media. Somewhere she needs to actually step in with us. Like, she's going to be in with us like at hour 11 tonight. By the time we get to her, by the time her people pick it up, and it makes it through all the channels and it's vetted, then she can come on and give us a serenade, to keep us through that final hour.
I'm totally
Murray
sure
just jumped on, so
anyway,
anybody's listening now, Murray, if you're not in tune, you better be looking for that Taylor Swift reference point for your presentation.
I'm not going to mention anything about Taylor Swift or Travis Kelce ever.
Perfect. Okay,
Cool. Well,
Heidi, thank you very much. Yeah,
Thanks.
great job.
I've got something exciting. We didn't mention this right off because I was just making sure we were fine tuning this, Beau, but I'm going to go back real quick and just share this slide again for folks who have been with us for a while. If you haven't, if you're just joined us, just talking about Convergence, which is Microsoft's BizApps conference, which is coming up here in December. It is Microsoft leading the charge here. All the sessions, for most of the sessions, 80% of the sessions are going to be led by the Microsoft product team. If you were there last year, you'll know what an impact it was. And again, one of my favorite things, I'd love to share it, I share it again, was how excited they were to be with the users. But we're actually going to, based on the attendance and the registration for DUG24, we're giving away a free ticket to Convergence to one lucky customer. So everybody that's joining us over all three time zones, all three sections we've got will be entered to get a ticket to Convergence. Again, I can't say enough about it. It's going to, over 100 sessions, workshops. There was a whole day of hands-on workshops. I'm not kidding. There was a Microsoft employee for every attendee at the workshop. Every Microsoft employee stayed around. And so Friday, there were, 100 Microsoft employees for 100, workshop users. So you had your own personal Microsoft Sherpa throughout the workshop process. It was pretty amazing. So just make sure everybody's aware of that. Again, we'll be giving away a ticket after the end of DUG24. We'll go through and get all the users lined up and pick somebody to join us there in Miami. Should be a great time.